already. They could have gotten like a full 60 perhaps if they played it right, but they weren't anticipating that mid push there off P2, but it doesn't matter anymore. Pass is done, Preston is on, and it's gonna be MTG getting the better map control here. All they're gonna do now is hop inside of the hill. The Vortex is right there. Kingzone is walking into it.
Kingzone's walking to it, no trophies whatsoever. They have to force it. Galaxy, another gets a pred feed. The pred comes out as well. Spots 2 more, spots 3. That's a 6K for him. 250 already. MTG from behind when it mattered the most broke P2 and eventually got in P3, and they've never gotten a single point there. I mean, they did get some points, but they never got in control, Warden. But when it mattered the most, they were for Kingzone. I mean, Snai had what, 48, 49? And you still didn't. I just don't understand what was happening there. Like, they were trying to break P4. They lost P2 when they had the perfect setup, Warden. So a lot of mistakes for Kingzone, but hey, for MTG, that was a great comeback. They were right there.
Story of the line. Story of the line for the set of MTG is that they don't get no spawns. They just play this hard point really scrappy. And if you're able to like get a lot of those scrap time coming from like pretty much every consecutive hills, clearly it mattered quite a lot as you got to see the result of the game. It was pretty close, and it went in favor for them.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really say a choke from Kingzone because it was a really close game. It was just, I just didn't understand why both teams were trying to break certain hills. And even if they had their operators, they weren't trying to break it. They were trying to play it to get kills, which is good. But, you know, like my rule as a coach is like, if you want to use your operator, you gotta ask some questions. Do you need it for kills? Do you need it for streaks? Do you need to break it? Do you need to hold? So those are like some questions I would ask. But hey, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it was a close game, but for Kingzone, that's a bummer right there. And for MTG, you got the momentum now. Now let's try to, if you're MTG, try to get it to a 2-0 already in the SND.
I mean, the underdog here is going to be MTG, and quite surprisingly, Jericho, they were able to pull this one off. But soon enough, I think, you know, if we're following the same format here, it's going to be Search and Destroy up next, and we all love some CDM action on Search and Destroy. But before that, let's talk about the highlights here, Jericho. I mean, honestly, I love the play instead of MTG, especially when they put up a mid-surge to get them break off P2, and the points they were able to accumulate off the break came into matters as we got to see them start playing.
That's true. I mean, look at this. I mean, Kingzone at one point was leading at 50 plus, but they just didn't want to break P4. They couldn't break it as a team. They were trying to break it one by one, and when they did break it, there's only what, 8 seconds left from it, and then back to P1 and P2. That's where they were dominating MTG, but MTG were just right there. They were just throwing their bodies inside the hill, even though Snai was literally piecing them one by one.
One big problem that you know tends to happen if ever you like over-preserve your operator skills is, come again, you kind of like hope for like a better hill, better edge perhaps, with sometimes having 2 operators invested just to get like 20 seconds can make a difference, especially for the set of Kingzone. As you did say, they had a lot of operators on that run for P4, but no one really went there for the investment, and bam, got to see. Game pretty close, and it went down to the side of MTG.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, MTG clutched up when it mattered the most. Again, I mean, we're going to keep on repeating that same phrase over and over again, because it doesn't matter if you go 10 and 30, but when you, during that final moments, if you get 6, just like one of the players there, hey, it's gonna be Galaxy. I mean, with that gravity vortex warden, then it is going to work.
Well, let's see if, you know, they can learn from their mistake as soon as we get to see another run for respawns. Now here for Search and Destroy here, Jericho. I mean, no ops will be involved into the mixture. It's just all going to come down to the trades, how they're going to be able to push like coordinatedly. And till then, let's see if who's going to be the better team here, because this is the first day of CDSI of 2024 here, guys, and we still have a lot of things to grasp here on how far teams can go inside of this tournament.
That's true. I mean, this is, but again, double elimination, best of 5, 250 hardpoint, first to 9 in SND, first to 4 in control, same maps, same modes, same bans. Nothing has changed, just the extending, just more scores for them, just like in CDM. And then obviously this is just a wild in because we're gonna get to the group stage next week.
And that's where the 3 tournament starts to come in now, because that will be the bridgeway as well for the knockouts. Which the knockouts, guys, I mean, grand final is gonna be a best of 7, and well, you know, only the best out of the best can make it through the previous stages here, guys. Come again, we have a few arena teams here in line. We got Gendra here, we got Absolute Zero, we got Elevate, we got Stalwart, and if you guys are longing for them, you guys don't want to miss out the show, so better make sure you guys are following the arena page all across Facebook and YouTube.
That's true. I mean, we're all gonna be here. We have 3 days of Wild In to find out who is gonna be the top teams that will go to the group stage and join the teams that have already qualified for this one. And after this CDSI, I think the next year we're all gonna be waiting for is for the world stage.
Well, going back to like the possible matches that we're gonna be having in Jericho, I want to see myself some free slot and some vitality action. And that's gonna be happening on the last and final little series that we're gonna be getting here, Jericho. So vitality, I'm kind of surprised that they were already included into the Wild End with the roster that they have. I was kind of expecting them to be directed to the group stage firsthand, but hey, looking like they have a lot more trials to go before they are granted that chance to go to the group stage.
Yeah, that's true. Still have to go through this one, and now for King Zone, and King Zone is actually the 6th best team according to Cali Z-Shirts, and MTG is gonna be the 7th. So both teams are pretty close at it, and I mean, Cali told us King Zone is primarily they're an S&D squad, so. But it didn't really look like they were the S&D squad by the looks of that hardpoint. I mean, they're pretty balanced, but let's see what kind of strategies, they love to use the clock. CDM teams love to use the clock, experience from Wolves, from Q9, from X-Rock, a lot of sniper battles, and then once they have the right amount of picks or some right amount of fake plays, then that's when they're going to try to burst in.
Well, it's all going to come down to the timing. Come again, Search and Destroy is very finicky. It's one of those game modes where you can get like an underdog team to go up against like the #1 team overall, and they can get possibly like picked off for the side of of the best team out there. Search and Destroy, I want to neglect all the passers so far. Come again, we already made a call that King Zone is the better squad for this very series. At least just one up there in regards to the leaderboards. MTG showed really great efforts and a lot of great projections to be able to end things off there for Hardpoint, and the way that they were able to adjust per rotation, Jericho, is somewhat like a factor that we might be able to possibly bring in for Search and Destroy, because yourself as a coach, improvisation is very much needed for this game mode.
Yeah, well, not improvise, but more of reading the situation as fast as you can and giving the adjustments, the proper adjustments. So that's what you need, especially CDM teams. They're pretty. I mean, I think this is their best game mode, Search and Destroy. But they're all around. I mean, there's a reason why Wolves were the world champions, the reigning champions for Call of Duty Mobile. So yeah, I definitely agree with that one, and that's why S&D wins 2 championships, and for CDM, I mean, 9 rounds, they have a lot of time to adjust.
I mean, as they have 3 teams in the world championship. You got Q9, you got X-Rock, you got Wolves. We just don't know how much how much dominance can the CDM teams offer in the world stage. And come in, guys, the world stage is going to be happening soon, pretty much, as the CDSI has been serving as the sense of calibration, how internationally the competition goes, and clearly for pretty much every Chinese, CDSIs that we've had, it always has been the CDM teams winning the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, CDFI, we saw Wolves with it. CDSI, we saw
Why the fuck my shit echoing?
I believe Wolves again, right? So I mean, it's always been the only. I think the first CDFI. I remember. I think Almighty.
Yeah.
They were the ones that won it. So, but ever since that one, it was all been CDM team. So, I mean, this could be a good like I said, calibration for the Eastern teams. Also, a lot of scouting for the Western teams, Europe, as well as the side of Latin and NA. They're going to be able.
No, I'm gonna just put a headset.
Usually you have a session between games. These guys are yapping more than me, bro. Shit, I have a liver stage. I think shit I already ever had it. I know rank reset. You lucky. Yeah, she's sweaty as fuck. I can't lie, I work full time. I school full time. Actually. Busy lady, man.
King Zone, then stats are just, tend to be proven wrong here, Jericho.
That's true. So, I think DYG did win CDSI. I think you're right. Yeah, it's been a year already, guys. You know, a lot of things has happened, but yeah, who do you think will take it home here? Do you see another CDM team winning it, or does a team from another region get it?
I feel like Elevate has a good chance. I mean, they've been on the roll so far. 3-peat on Garena Masters. And they've won the regional tournament as well for Garena to make it to stage 5. That's pretty much just about it. As we draw things back here for the side of, King Zone and MTG on Hardpoint, it's going to be 250 to 225. I do believe that is the kills allocated here. 164 for set of MTG and 168. In regards to the second row here,
That's assist.
Yeah, assist. Okay, given assist, but better KDA is going to be given for the set of King Zone, but it doesn't really translate to the win itself.
Take a look at the ratings here. I mean, look at Sni, 1.92 for the L. You hate to see it, but the Galaxy was right there with 1.26 as well. So, I mean, it just shows. I think it was just more of the team composition towards the end, because they weren't really trying to work on breaking the hill, but only like when it mattered the most. That's where King Zone kept on going and going in now, but they couldn't win the gunfights that they needed to.
1.92 K. Still losing. The last time we saw that kind of statistics was, I think, during the run for LATAM, where Lucas In was dropping a lot of kills, but the rest of the role players wasn't really like translating to any contestment inside of the hill. No. But anyways, the MVP for that hardpoint run is going to be Galaxy with 44 kills
for him. That's, I mean, he was the one who made the play towards the end. The gravity vortex as well with that Predator missile to close out the deal, 250 to 225. That's going to be it for our game number 1. As we move on to game number 2, we're going to be waiting to see what map, where are we going to have our 9 rounds of action for our search and destroy. First to 9, remember, not first to 7. Remember, CDM rules will be the one that we are going to use.
As we got to see earlier, I think Takeoff was banned already. Do you remember, like, what was
Takeoff was banned, as well as, I believe, Tanisha is going to be played.
Express.
So, Express was the other one, yes.
Okay, so we still have Tanisha. I think Tanisha might be the best choice here. I mean, it's a very stable, map for search and destroy now, and it's not really the most finicky out there. So I feel like we're gonna get Tanisha search and destroy here.
I mean, by the looks of it, yes, and maybe Kurohana as well. Either any of those two. But best of 5 again. Remember, so first to 3. You have 2 double elimination bracket as well. All gonna be the upper bracket for today. But yes, I mean, as everyone is patiently waiting, we're all waiting to see. But just have to give it some time. It is that first game. Maybe some people just trying to, look for some stuff, try to get the groove on it. But once the action starts, I mean, we're gonna go all in.
Well, looking like search and destroy is still gonna be put to hold for a moment or so. But rest assured, guys, it's a very interesting run here for search and destroy. It's gonna be first to 9 rounds. It's gonna be pretty long. I do believe overtime is on as well, and most of the times we have been able to see a lot of overtimes in between 2 CDM teams having a battle for search and destroy.
That's true. I mean, we've already seen CDM teams play S&D, and the way they play S&D, it's very, very methodical. It's by the book. They love to really burn that clock and let their snipers have their fun with it. But I mean, no team has really adjusted. I mean, we've seen Elevate, they've tried during the CDFI, but now hopefully they can switch it up here. Maybe we do see a different kind, especially with a different kind of meta now. But here we go. Game number 2, Tunisia. Tunisia will be our S&D map. First Snai, ladies and gentlemen, this will be game number 2.
Again, all eyes on Snai, as he was that guy to drop a lot of kills in Apocalypse Hardpoint. Galaxy should be a player to watch out as well here for a set of MTG. But as we head straight to the transition to the game itself, Tunisia search and destroy. Typically, commonly, you get to see a lot of like 4-1 splits. Have one player towards the B-bomb, say stack A, play for the retake, or just go for an L, go 2-1-2. We don't exactly know. Let's just leave it down to the pros. as we are now going to be inside of the map here, Jericho. Here
Nah, it's
we
not.
go.
We go, game number 2, MTG versus King Zone. Again, MTG leading the series 1-0. Offense on the side of King Zone and MTG with the defense. And look at King Zone. The classic CDM leave the bomb strap.
And just look to get some pickoffs here. It's going to be player 1, player 5 leaning towards the east side. Well, Pepe is looking to wait for a push towards main. Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a matter of questioning who can get the first kill, and maybe till then we can find a dictation and which way the bomb will go to.
That's true. And I mean, not really aggressive. And I like this from MTG. Look at the way they're holding down the position. They're not showing. No one's going to be near. Their trophies are there for them. The King Zone, they have to push now. And look at number 1, Vikey. Already towards that front platform towards B. We'll give some information out.
Already like almost just a minute left inside of this game. Finally, he might just be able to get the first pick off here. What is that angle? Looking to get the shot there, but won't be able to catch anything. But what is that shot, Pepe? Random spam through the wall, finds the kill, fishes out. Here we go. They want to make a push here towards the B side, but in the process, XT Man dies in yellow. But the clearance is on here for the B side, but the break is also ready as well. The tempo just changes up quickly. Now it's only going to be a 3v3.
3 versus 3, Muppet in time. It's a 2 versus 1 now. It's all up to Bao. Can he find something? Finds one, but Yayi is there. MTG 1-0.
That's exactly what you said, Jericho. Once the first pick happens, the tempo changes, and you are just bound to see a lot of those gunfights. So who can make that adjustment off the tempo should be the team here. Could go on a spree, but looking like they don't want to do no defaults. They just want to go for the typical B rush here, and it's only going to be time that will be holding the fort down here on the front lines. Finally, the rotation comes in, but the bomb's going to get planted now.
Planted down. Vikey almost gets out player. The nade gonna kind of cook it. Here comes Fish with a shotgun. Nice shot. That's the first one for him. Here comes the retake from MTG. 5 versus 4 now. Nades are flying through. Double shotgun as well for Yayi. Here they come. MTG left and right, doesn't need to go in. Fish gets one. The trade Baba is their X-Team out of Galaxy. Gets the trade 3 versus 2 now. It's all to these two players. Galaxy, nice shots from him too. Last player is going to be Pepe. We'll get hit. And that should be it. MTG with a beautiful retake. That's for round number 2.
There wasn't even like any splits perhaps. I mean, we're just stacking towards one direction. And really, pretty impressive breakthrough there for the set of Fish to get an opener with a KRM. He was able to get a lot of map clearance inside of the bomb side. Now 2 rounds in a row here for the set of MTG. They tried playing it slow, they tried playing it fast. It hasn't worked out, not just yet, but they had better odds when they took it slow. So let's see if they're going to be doing exactly that and looking like they don't pick up the bomb once more. They just want to play for those picks.
Yeah, and look at MTG now. They're the one taking the aggressive push here, Warden. They're the one getting the space, looking for more. And I like this. I like the setup from them. They're closing in, and they should have an idea that King Zone is just literally giving. They're just in one square, which towards the back here. XT Man gets that quick scope on Yayi. That's the first blood.
Great shot for XT Man. That's not going to be forcing all of the pressure on the B side for a set of MTG to go for the rotation, but soon enough they might have to make that call as players of the King Zone is going to be funneling now here on this A bomb side. 3 players now might just be able to push up towards main. 2 on Winery, but Muppet finds 1 here on towards main. The trade comes in from the side of time. Fish going to be inside of the side with a KRM. More than enough to slow down the pace. And that's going to be them dismantling the force of King Zone once more. And now all alone 1v3 doesn't matter. Galaxy finds the dagger to close out round number 3. And MTG is just non-stop here, Jericho.
Yeah, Galaxy gonna be able to get that kill. Now as we move over to 3 and 4, I mean 3-0. I mean MTG looking pretty clean on this defensive side. I mean Viking with still with 0, Sny with 1. Everyone else getting some kills, but they're gonna try to rush it now over. It's A. Yayi, does he get away with his life? Yes, he can. How? Just nice movement from him as well. Viking gets 1. Trades are there. Baba gets Fish. Gets the call. He has to wait for it. They do have the man advantage here. Doesn't matter. Time takes out Viking and Yayi.
So quick.
Still trying to hit that flanker. Warden could have the huge advantage, but Galaxy gonna make both players one shot. It's fine. Snai gets him as well. It's gonna be 1v1 now. XT Man versus Galaxy.
2v2, 2v1.
Oh, 2v1, I mean, but bomb is down, and Time and Galaxy is gonna get away. Not a fan of this one, but let's see the full wrap from them. 1 minute and 50. Oh, still a lot of time in this round.
I don't know if they were expecting it to go to the B side, but it was like they just went all around spawn, possibly push up towards con, or maybe really a full wrap here. We don't know. I mean, indecisive perhaps, but finally they do decide to make a push towards con. They're not gonna waste any time. The challenge comes in with that machine pistol, and they get the shut down. MTG gonna be on 4 in a row.
4 in a row. Beautiful plays coming through, and like we said, they just needed that momentum. It's that game number 1. It showed Warden that they can step it up here. King Zone hasn't recovered. Can they stop the bleeding?
Off that momentum that they lost out on Hardpoint, I don't know. King Zone, they had it all on the first game. Should have had it all as well in regards to like the history line on how they were able to offer a lot of things on Search and Destroy, but it's just not transgressing to that. What a play, what a peek from the set of Muppet. Shot XT Man out, and he's gonna go on a spree. Bow, bow, goodbye. And the aggression just starts to build off here for a set of MTG, and they're just able to dominate it the way it is.
That's true. Vikey gets one, but Fish is there for the trade, and it's all up to Pepe in a 1 versus 3. He does get one. See what he can find. So far, he's just gonna take his time here. And if you're MTG, just waste that clock. You have the bomb on your side. This should be a round for you. Oh, what the no! Time and Pepe does not see that player. Oh, that's just some unfortunate awareness.
First day bloopers.
That's not even. Yeah, first day of bloopers, buddy. I hate to see it.
Call of Duty mobile timing. We don't know.
It's not even timing.
Low FOV perhaps.
Give that guy a map. Where are you going? Shout out Chris Spears. Here you go.
Lost and found. Here we
Round
go.
numbers. I mean, what can he find?
Nothing.
Nothing yet. Again, they're gonna take their sweet time looking for a pick. But again, look how aggressive King Zone is now. I mean, MTG actually. They have a 1-3-1 setup. See what happens.
You tried it all already. Went for a rush, didn't work out. You play for those picks, doesn't work out.
Okay, there you doesn't work out again.
And you take it slow. It's just not gonna work out up against a boy like Muppet. 6 players already out, and this guy has been able to get some pretty interesting.